Okay, this next part is going to be the side plate. And the side plate's a little bit challenging, so it might take some finagling to get. But basically we're going to start from the front plane and create a new sketch. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to move from the origin. We're going to set the upper right corner as the origin, since that is the most that's the most static point. All right, so I'm going to draw a line from the origin out to the side, and of course it was bound to happen. I got to change to inch pound seconds, which kicks me out of sketch. Go back into edit sketch. All right, and this first one I'm going to smart dimension at 1.75. Okay. Then I'm going to use a center line, and I'm going to start from the origin to draw a center line and smart dimension that center line at 2.20. And that's going to give me one center point. So I'm going to start at the center and go to the other end of the line. That's going to give me the first part of that leg, that sweep. Okay. Then another center line is going to go from the origin, hit escape after placing that. I'm going to smart dimension this at 3.450. And that's going to give me a center point for another circle. And this one starts at that end point, and it's going to end at the 1.75. All right, so that kind of gives me the basis for creating this moon shape now, which I have to trim out. So I'm going to go to Trim Entities, and I'm going to trim across that. I'm going to trim across the top. And what that leaves me is with this kind of moon shape. All right, the moon shape, got a couple things here. I'm going to drop another center line from the 2.20. Make that vertical. Hit escape, and I'm going to smart dimension that. 1.750. Okay, so this marks the center point of the hole that's going to be there. So we might as well put it in. And I'm going to smart dimension that as 1/2 inch. Okay, and then the next part is getting a hole from this center point to basically be trying to touch this edge and this edge. And you can do that with a regular circle, but there's also another way with using the perimeter circle, which we haven't really used before. But a perimeter circle, you're going to touch the edges. All right, so I'm going to touch this top edge, click and drag. I'm going to touch the bottom edge. And then once I do that, I'm going to basically try to connect it with the center right there and left click. And it gives me tangent point, tangent point. So from there, I'm going to trim entities and then trim the back side of that circle, making sure this is where the big mistake comes in. You got to make sure that you don't have any overlapping points, and sometimes you have to zoom in really, really close to make sure that there is no overlap. Okay, so I'm going to hit F for fit. That's my side plate. And I'm going to green check and exit the sketch. And I'm going to extrude boss base. And I'm going to select the sketch. And for whatever reason, it's not liking the entire contour. So I'm going to exit back. So try one more time. Left click, extrude cut. There we go. And what's my thickness? Thickness is 0.120. Green check. Okay, from here, I'm going to enter the holes, which are not threaded. All right, but I have to select that top face and start a new sketch. I'm going to hit the space bar and okay, I'm looking at this. I know that it flipped it around on me, so I'm just going to flip it back, get it close to where I need it. Space bar and normal 2. There we go. So the hole is over here. The rest of my face is back here. I'm going to place 2 holes, making sure to choose the regular circle. I'm going to tag the midpoint to make sure that I stay in the middle. And I want to make sure that I keep that tracking line going. And here's going to be the same thing. I'm going to drop down and add relations. It already has arc 2 because that was already selected. I'm just going to left click on the other circle, make sure that they are equal, to have equal relations. I smart dimension one of them. And we have 0.070 diameter. And then it's about spacing. Spacing is 1/4 inch from the end, and then from circle to circle, 1 inch. Exit the sketch, extruded cut, and we're dropping down 0.125. Confirm the cut extrude, and that is the side plate. Save my file. That's part number 4. And save the side plate.